welcome to the 600 Pound Down podcast. I'm your host, well, one of your hosts, co-host, Coach Justin, and along with me is this guy who just got done working out. What's your name again?
Coach Chicken Legs.
Coach Chicken, Coach Chicken Legs. All right, these sound effects are great. I love it.
Coach George here, and Justin, Well, hold on, back up. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I am. My journey is spectacular. I'm just focusing on body recomposition, brother. That's what we do. Like I'm kind of tired of falling victim to a scale, so I'm really trying to work hard on developing a body. So I've been lifting weights too, just like you. I know you're lifting heavy and hard and all the things, but it's really good for us. So I've been doing that. My personal journey's been going good. Trying to give myself some opportunities to eat some good, like, hey, have a treat once in a while, kind of things like that. So I have been, like tonight, I had like 5 slices of gluten-free pizza. That was my splurge. They weren't that big. So it's probably like 640 calories. That's nothing compared to what you're doing right now, but still. What about you, man? I know you got some training going on. Doing good with that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's going really well. Honestly, having someone else in control is very freeing for me. Usually I'm the one doing all the programming and all the meal stuff and whatnot, but it's really nice to have Adam doing all of that for me. And one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to hire Adam was I actually really hurt my shoulder. I don't know what I did to it, but like it's right along here, and any pressing movement is like a no-go. I can't do dumbbell presses. I forget barbell bench press. I was trying to do some machine shoulder presses today. I had to go so light, man, and like so slow to feel like anything, but my shoulders hurt. And I'm not in my 20s anymore. Now I'm in my 30s, and stuff doesn't heal as fast as I was in my 20s. So Adam is just really helping me keep accountable to somebody, because having someone day in and day out, like you and Adam, just being right there, it's really a wonderful thing, and it keeps me accountable. And it really just takes the burden of programming just off of me for a little bit, just with all the moving stuff. It was kind of busy. But yeah, reorienting my training a little bit, aiming more for strength. I need strength for my job. And so I'm trying to do stuff that will just really enhance my strength. So in order to do that, you need to eat some food. And we are kind of I told Adam, I wouldn't mind losing like 10 pounds, but I really got to keep my strength. And so he's got me on this like slow boil cut right now. And it's going really well. It's going good. Clean eating is always a good thing. I tell people all the time, you can feel like you can feel more full clean eating than junk eating on the same amount of calories. So it's been really helpful. A lot of fiber, a lot of protein, a lot of good healthy fats. So things are going well.
Good. I love it. We're always kind of, I notice with us, we're always just trying to progress one way or another, right? That's what it comes down to. We're just trying to take care of ourselves. So very good. And hope that shoulder gets better, bro.
Appreciate you.
You got to do some more, I don't know, rest it more. Maybe it's from working. Maybe you're lifting. Was it something like maybe you lifted to like something?
So like, okay. So maybe, possibly, perhaps. I was loading up the cooler from the delivery truck, and the cases, 60, 70, 80 pound cases, and I kind of got to like throw it over my head onto the shelf. I was feeling pretty strong that day. Wasn't feeling pretty strong after I did it.
I remember like loading and unloading trucks back in the day too, with like Walmart and Subway, and actually Subway was the number one. I did that, and that I'll tell you, man, those are challenging things. You can do some weird twists and turns and all sorts of yuck things from that.
Yeah, man. So I mean, that's one of the reasons why I need to keep being strong. I need to be able to do this long term. If I get to be like, I'm 31, if I get to be like 45 and I can't do this anymore, like that's not good, because I can't retire for like another, 20 years at least. So trying to make sure that I can have my strength and do it safely, because I need to be able to do stuff like that. I have to be able to move things, pick things up, pull a case off the floor like cold, you know? So
that's your livelihood. You have to. right?
Yeah,
I mean, if you're
yeah,
doing that long term, rest of your life, if you want to retire there, you're going to have to be doing something to help with that.
yeah. And I thought that I had to be perfect in the gym
Mm.
to really be able to do any kind of progression. But Justin, I think that is because this is something that we're going to talk about today, this perfectionism idea. And when you floated this idea over to me, perfectionism keeps you fat. That hits, bro. Like I've been literally having these conversations with Adam because I am so used to this word optimized. Like I have to be optimized.
Mm.
It's like, okay, well, and this is Adam. This is not me. So this is Adam. So Adam, if you're listening or watching this, I'm making sure giving credit where credit's due because this was good. He goes, what's optimized? Having all the sets and all the reps calculated out for a 3-month workout and going to half of those, or being half optimized on paper but hitting every single one of those
Mm.
workouts.
Mm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's a reality check.
Mm.
You know, perfectionism. I think we all have it. I think people have it in all sorts of different areas of their lives. I mean, there's some people who have it with their work. There's some people who have it with their exercise, with their body. People who have it on the scale numbers. There's people who maybe their relationship status or what they're doing in relationships. Like there's this how you raise your kids. There's perfectionism all over the place. I think, George. I think culture really it kind of paints the picture of perfectionism. It's like it's a standards that are really hard to live up to, and I think we're just fed that. I think it's gotten way more out of hand than ever. Because on social media we see a lot of different people posting pictures or reels or whatever, and as they do that, we're seeing all the good things that are happening. We're seeing all the amazing highlight moments in their lives, and look at my gains. Look at the weight I've lost. Look at the vacation we're on and how perfect this is, and the house that we just made, and all the things. And there's nothing wrong with those things, but I think sometimes it kind of draws us to think that we have to compare and we have to perform and we have to make it work and become somebody like what we're seeing. And that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. And I don't know. I've always hoped that our example shows that we don't we're not perfectionists, though we are mission minded with our health, and we are individuals who really want to go challenge ourselves and maybe go another level and never stay complacent. But we just never want to come across like we have to have it all together because you and I both know we don't have it all together. So what's perfectionism mean to you when we say that when it comes to your lifestyle, and how have you battled that?
You know, life's been really challenging the last year and a half. You were talking about how people are posting the gains. Everyone's going to post the gains. No one's posting the binge, right?
Hmm.
No one's posting the late night peanut butter jar. And you see everyone's best version of themselves. And I'm a guy that generally likes to wear my heart on my sleeve. I think it's the most transparent and clear way to live your life. But especially in the gym, if I have a workout plan that's 4 days a week and I miss workout number 2, it would be so easy to just be like, oh, well, I missed workout number 2. I guess this whole week shot, I'll start over again next week. Well, no, because I can still hit workouts 3 and 4, right? Can I? For sure. And so this whole idea of being perfect, I think it stems from a few things. One, I think it stems from a place of people pleasing. That, at least for me, I can't stand it when someone doesn't like me. A lot of the times, because I can't stand if someone dislikes me, it's because I think very poorly of myself in my deficiencies, in my failures, in my flounderings. I just can't really seem to, like, if they knew, like, if my life is not put together, I feel like everyone sees that part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they don't know. Everyone's got stuff. Everyone's got stuff going on. They, I posted this on Facebook the other day. People don't think about you as much as you think about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone
Yeah.
else has got stuff going on.
Yeah.
So this whole idea of having to be perfect,
Mm-hmm.
It stems from people pleasing. It stems from insecurity. And then it all culminates into a distress moment where you look at your life and you're just like kind of putting your hands up. And it's like, if I can't be perfect, it's not worth it.
Yeah. It's damaging. It's damaging. It plays with your emotions. It toys with you so much. And I remember days too, like when you start a diet. Think about, and I think a lot of people do this. It could be on New Year's. It can be summer diet. Maybe you want to get shredded over the summer and get a shirt off or get into a bathing suit, bikini, whatever. And we tend to put some pressure on ourselves and say, hey, we got to do this thing. We got to start today. And all of a sudden, that night happens. You got through the whole day. You went for a walk. You started lifting some weights, using the resistance bands, whatever. And the night comes, and all of a sudden, the hunger pains start, and the boredom, and I'm going to watch TV, so I'm going to go. Ice cream out of that freezer is saying, hey, psst, come on over. Come on over. And we grab it, and we eat it, and then we say, well, I failed. I can't do this. And we give up. And I'm just a big believer in... I'm a big believer, obviously, changes need to happen. I'm not anti-changes. Sometimes drastic changes need to happen. If you're in an extreme situation and you're addicted to something, there has to be some drastic change that has to happen. But if you're the average person, like the normal, everyday Joe, Jane, who just wants to start something and wants to be just consistent on things, then sometimes, George, the old motto we used to have was one step. Remember, we used to say that all the time. And we still live by that motto in some situations. Some situations we're going to go all out and we're going to do it and we're going to do well. But I think what really attacks perfectionism is setting a boundary on where you want to start and then just allowing yourself to change in that area. And that can be something simple like, hey, today I'm going to make a commitment to go to the gym twice a week. And that could be Monday and Friday, or that can be, Monday and Wednesday, whatever. You name your days. Or it could mean I'm going to cut out sugar this week and just stick with the normal healthy foods. Or it can mean I'm going to just cut out sugar and soda this week and I'm just going to have water and I'm going to have some electrolyte supplements or something, electrolyte drinks. I mean, I think starting there is more doable, and it kind of knocks perfectionism out the window because there's a little bit of grace involved with that.
Oh yeah.
I don't have to have my whole backyard cleaned up. I only have to have a section cleaned up. Anybody's ever had to clean their house and your house is just trashed and your kids maybe made a huge mess, or maybe you have worked nonstop and you just hadn't had a chance to clean it. And then when you see the overview of the house, it's like my heart starts to race and I get anxiety and I'm like, how am I going to find time to do this? But if you just tackle it one room at a time, you're going to get that bad boy done. It's going to happen. That's what I mean, that helps me, having a one step in just one direction at a time. It's less overwhelming.
And when I started losing the weight, I was talking this to someone. So I went to a camp last week on vacation with the kids, and a couple things that happened at camp that were kind of funny. One, people know I do this podcast, and so every time they had an unhealthy snack, they felt like they had to justify it in my presence.
Let's talk about that.
Does that ever happen to you?
Yes, I want to talk about that in a minute, but go ahead and finish your thought. I'm going to write this down, but it is hilarious.
And then I had 2 or 3 women talk about how they were in menopause right now, and it just sucks. And and so here I am, the menopause whisperer, and it's like
those of you who don't know, Coach George had several opportunities. We were on it was our January reset. And I was on with George, and we were doing a women's or men's hormone discussion, and that was a lesson for the night. And my computer stops working in the midst of talking about the hormones and menopause and and postmenopause. And I leave George, and he's out there with 5 ladies, and he's just talking about menopause all by himself. There's George.
It's it's the subject I know the least. It seriously is. I'm a 31-year-old man. I don't know anything about menopause. I know there's perimenopause, right? Is that what it's called? What? Perimenopause?
We'll have a menopause. We'll have a women's hormone. Two dudes having a women's hormones.
Okay, I should be clear about this. I know enough to teach a class on it. I know more than the average person. So I'm not stupid or anything like that. But it's I'm not as smart as Justin. So when Justin's computer just goes and he's gone, I'm just all right, I guess everyone's getting the B reel tonight. All right, let's go.
That's great. So he's like, "Where'd you go, bro?" It was just funny. Anyway, you had to be there. So I just
Well,
like totally exit, and George is there, like and he's talking to these ladies like, "You got to make changes," and they're probably menopausal themselves, and they're probably going through some hormone changes or whatever, premenopausal maybe, and they're probably like,
so like I start talking. I don't even know where I was going with this. Now we're just on menopause. Um, but we were at camp. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, we
it's
were talking
not
about
coming
camp, and
back.
you were in the presence of people who had to justify in front of you what they were
I know
eating, and
we're
then there were
there, and
ladies
then I was
talking
talking,
to you.
and then I was talking about menopause, and then okay. Well, I got a new thought. I can't remember the old thought, but I got a new thought. It still works. So,
Oh my goodness.
I asked Adam, right? Because I only started with Adam probably like 2 weeks prior to going to this camp. And there was no gym access. I'm like, Adam, would you be able to get me a full body workout when I go to camp? And he's like, sure, no problem. Does one up for me. And I get to camp, and I'm, single dadding it at camp. I had the kids with me. I loved that I had the kids with me. This is not me saying I wish the kids were not with me. I loved that the kids were with me. Had them for 8 days. It was awesome. They were over it by day like 6, and so we were playing emotional like damage control basically the last couple of days, but it was good. But I had like no time because it was a family camp. Everything was programmed. We were having programming from 8 to 8:30, 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. and I just couldn't get away. I was thankful that I had family there, but I'm the parent, and so I need to be present and involved and in charge. But I couldn't work out. And I had to check in with Adam, and I'm like, Adam, like, there's just no way. Like, I'm trying. Like, I'm eating clean. Like, I'm eating good. But I'm not able to, like, get a workout. And he goes, bro, you're on vacation, right? And I go, yeah. And he's like, and this is your one vacation a year, right? And I go, yeah. He's like, dude, just enjoy your vacation.
But that's really good advice. That's really good advice.
Like, are you getting your steps in? Yeah. Are you eating what you should be? Yeah. Then dude, don't stress about it. Like, you're fine. Like, we'll get back into your routine when you get back, but enjoy your kids, enjoy your family, enjoy the experience. And but I was like stressing about being perfect. I was stressing about like, oh man, I gotta at least go to the jungle gym and do like some pull-ups or something. Like, I gotta do, like, I was considering like this close of going to my kids' like playground and start doing just a full-on George body weight workout with the pull-up, like with the jungle gym. And I was gonna start doing like pull-ups
I
and
could
stuff like
see
that.
it though. You probably should. You probably should have went. Like, I'm gonna do this right now. Kids, move, kids. Slap them out of the way. Excuse
All
me.
right, if you can lift more than me, this is yours.
Yeah. But what if they are? The hormones in food these days? They could be lifting more
I was
than
gonna
we
tell
would.
you, I had a conversation about that today at work too.
See, we got all these good conversations. We just gotta like make other episodes. We gotta be on here more. We just gotta do more. There's a
Yeah,
lot
I've
of
got
things we
so
can
much
talk
stuff
about.
in the tank right now that it's
Yeah.
just like I almost just want to word vomit all over everybody right now.
Word
But
vomit. I love it.
yeah, you know, first thing that came, I'm such a dude.
You're such a theologian. Yeah.
Scubala. Okay. All right, I'll reel it in. But anyway, I was talking with a bunch of women who were going through menopause, and they were talking to me about some of the changes that we're making. I was able to help them out a little bit. But they were like, I don't even know where to start. Like, so many changes are happening. I'm like gaining weight here, retaining water here. I'm mad at my husband when he breathes funny, and I'm like, you know how many women that were saying that they were in menopause tried or were currently doing intermittent fasting to lose the weight? And what did I tell them, Justin? What did I tell them?
Sometimes we're afraid to tell these ladies things. Did you tell them you need to eat breakfast? You need to not intermittent fast so much, or did you say just do what you got to do?
No, I said stop intermittent fasting. I
You
said,
went in.
I did.
Did you
I
say
did.
any prayers first?
Well, it was at a Christian camp, so there was assumptions.
Good. Thanks the Lord. Just kidding, ladies. But some of y'all ladies are like, you get cray cray with this stuff. It's sometimes it makes it hard for two dudes to speak up about it. But there's a lot of science behind this. Anyway, I digress. Go ahead, George.
I was gonna say, listen, high protein meals, 5 to 6 meals a day, over the course of a month. Watch what happens.
Yes, with exercise.
But yeah, but yes, with exercise. But they didn't know where to start, and I was just like, okay. So my suggestion was, start with that, high protein, for you 5 to 6 meals a day, because she's the one I was specifically talking to, started working out again, which was great. Was doing a lot of cardio. I also was like weight training, just add a little bit in there. But I asked her what are some of your favorite foods? Do you like Greek yogurt? Do you like cottage cheese? And she goes, I really like Greek yogurt. I really like fruit. I'm like, okay, score. Watch this. So get a bowl, put some Greek yogurt in there, some frozen berries. Keep them frozen because it'll keep the dish cold, and then add in some like powdered peanut butter for some peanut butter flavor if you want to, and maybe some walnuts for some healthy fats. Boom, you got your breakfast.
Booyah.
Yeah, she has a fridge at work. She works at a desk. I'm just like, late. And she said that she's like standing while she's working too, which is great. And I'm like, fantastic. And she says she's going out on walks on her lunch break. I'm like, that's also great. So I was just like, okay, hey, try this like 5 to 6 meals a day thing and see how that goes for you. Just try that. Because if we start compounding things, because man, like we talk about this all the time, but you try to go full on in and change everything, you might last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But that's probably going to be it.
Exactly, because we have a perfectionism thing. Like, if we don't do good enough, then we're not doing good enough. It's not good enough for us to do this long term.
I sound like such a curmudgeon and an old man when I sit here and I'm like, I hate social media. But here I am on social media. Like, I'm on social media. I feel like we're like the anti-social media. Like, everything social media is telling us, we're just like, listen, they're on steroids.
That's why we're not blowing up. That's why
we're not blowing up. You know what? I might just start taking some trend. Call me Coach Trend.
We're actually shooting up right now, so give us some views. Just kidding.
I'm going to start taking trend. Justin's going to start taking D-ball, and we're just going to get massive.
Now I can just see, I think wow. I just saw our fan base just went up about 200,000, George. That's amazing.
We're either going to listen, if we go on steroids, we're either skyrocketing or they're demonetizing. Like, it's that drastic.
Yeah. Where are we going with this?
Listen, it's been a minute, but this whole idea of just social media, I mean, especially for like lifters in my sphere, because I struggle with this too. I would see dudes who are my age, have been lifting as long as I have, and they look 3 times better than I do, as good as I do. And then I, hear about their lives and they're like, oh, they're not married and they don't have kids and they don't have a day job.
Yep.
Oh, that's definitely some factors to work into the equation then. Because if I'm going to be, like, for me, I'm going to be strong. I'm not going to have a six-pack. For me to be strong and able to do my job well, I will never be shredded. Ever. Because in order to move weight, you have to not just have muscles, you have to have mass. I need mass. I'm probably never going to see below 200 pounds again. Because if I get below 200 pounds, I can't do my job well. So here's what I can do, and I do this sometimes to impress customers when they're standing at the counter. So
as your customers are listening right now, they're like, okay, what do you do, George?
So when I take out a 2-pack of pork loin, like bone-in pork loin, which is the length of my wingspan. Okay. Maybe not the length of my, maybe it's like from my shoulder to the end of my fingertips.
All right.
The case is 80. So each pork tender, each loin is like 30 pounds. I put it in the sink. I cut the cryovac. Do you know what I do with that 30 pounds? I grip it. I pull it out with one arm and I slam it on the saw.
It's manly of you.
If I'm shredded, I can't do that because I'm not strong enough to do that. I can't work effectively. I can't work efficiently. So what is the perfection? The perfection is never going to be my physique. The perfection is going to be my performance. Mm-hmm. If my performance lacks, then it's not worth it. I'm not a fitness influencer. I'm a butcher.
Influencer. You're a butcher influencer.
Dude, I'm like nobody.
You should totally start a social media page of just butchering things. You should be like the day in the life of a butcher. I would totally follow that and probably unfollow after a couple months, but still, I would follow it for a little bit.
I tell people how to, butcher their arms in
That's right. You put your meaty arm up all the
If
time.
I didn't do this at least once tonight, was it really a 600 pounds down podcast?
No. It's 600 pounds down podcast with Coach George, Coach Justin, and George's bicep. Every episode. Okay. Where are we going? Sorry, I like to interrupt us.
No, it's okay. So this whole idea of just having to be perfect with social
Mm,
media, just the aesthetics. The normal person can't live their life like that.
true story.
You can't,
Yep.
because you're either gonna look like the influencer and not be able to live your life,
Yep.
or live your life and not look like the influencer.
Yep.
And we need to be okay. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Listen up. You need to
Uh-oh.
be okay with being you, not
Ooh,
them.
now you're hitting now. Okay. All right. You got to be okay with being you. He said it one more time.
You need to be okay with being you, not them.
Wow, our live audience loved it. But that hits, right? That hits. It's you be you. And but here's the problem. We don't know who we are sometimes.
No. We get told of who we should be, especially in the fitness world. We are always told this is what the peak physical appearance looks like. This is what you here. Okay, we're gonna have big box fitness tell you, okay, this is the way that you should look. Okay, so this is the way I should look. Therefore, I'm going to strive after this look. I'm going to have something imposed upon me that is probably unattainable, but that is yet my standard. So I'm going to run the rat race now of letting the big box fitness tell me what I need to do and who I need to be. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. How you train is how you train is representation of who you are. So like for me, a couple of things that I hold very close to the vest are integrity and intentionality. And that is exactly when I go and work out, every rep, every descent, every slow negative, it's incredibly intentional. My training is representative of my character. So what happens then if I stop going? I can say I have character all day long, but if I'm going to sit in this chair, if I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to talk into this, and I'm not going, bro, take my mic away right now.
That's not integrity.
No.
That's not
And
integrity.
I'm a liar. I'm a hypocrite. And so, quite honestly, you all who are listening, you help me keep going. Because this platform is as much for me as I hope you get out of it when you listen.
That's good. It's like accountability check-in, right? Because I mean, you can't in leadership, and Coach George and I are leading people. We have subscribers, we have people who listen to it every week, and we lead. And leaders have to lead by example, and we do believe that. And it's kind of an accountability check when we get on here because we can't take you where we are not going ourselves, and that's just real. But in the meantime of that, we are still real people, and we have to come against perfectionism as well. But I think we're in a different place today where I think we can be mature enough to know what the balance is. I mean, there is a point where I'm committed to my workouts. Like I get up at least, I'm probably exercising 7 days a week. My active rest day is usually on Sunday. But man, I'm getting my tail in the gym about 6 days a week. If I don't make it, I'm outside going for a walk. If I don't make that, I'm inside doing some kind of whatever. I'm just working. I'm just, even if it's the middle of my work day, if I can just take 10, 15 minutes and do something, my commitment to myself is to work out every day as much as I can. If I miss it, I miss it. But because I'm not going to beat myself up for missing something. However, George, when I do miss a workout, my food looks different for that day.
It
So
does.
I'm not over
Facts.
consuming food. I'm being, my calorie count goes down, and I'm just trying to eat, as healthy, as clean as possible, which I usually do anyway. But just stating that usually my portion control is a little more on point with that. So if I'm doing a 2,000 calorie day from normally going to the gym, doing some cardio, doing a little bit of a walk later, and also weights that day, that works for me. If I'm not doing that, and if I just go for maybe a 20-minute walk, my calories might go down to 1,700 that day, and more protein, less carbohydrate even. So, but you figure it out. That's the thing. Like, and it's not perfectionism. We just what do you want to call adaptability? So there's a difference. We aim for something as a standard, but we also have adaptability available when we need that. Because I'm not going to sit here and say, I didn't make it to the gym today. I didn't get my 2 walks in today. Man, I'm not going to do this today. Give me the chocolate, baby. Go ahead. Like I'm not going to do that. I'm going to adapt because that's what maturity does. That's what if you're in this thing for a long period of time, that's what you can default to in your mind instead of condemnation, it comes out to no, I'm going to I'm going to adapt. I'm going to adapt. I'm not going to sit here and do that. George, I want to talk about what you hit on earlier though, because I thought it was really cool. Is when we're in front of people, I notice the same thing. It's so interesting to me when they hear the podcast or my friends. I have noticed that when they're eating something that is not like healthy or might be a high portion, they look at me and they try to they say some like you can tell there's some uncomfortable feelings there, like they're like feeling like I'm judging them, and I promise you I never look at someone and say, oh,
No,
you're
never.
gonna
Me
eat that,
neither.
you're gonna eat that
It's
really.
it's almost like they treat us like the foodie spirit. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you know, like we're the arbiter of their diet or something like that. I
If you
don't know
eat that
why, but
you're gonna die.
like people will come up to me. It's like, okay, I had one donut, and I'm like, okay.
No, it was two, okay, it was two.
Like, listen. If you ever interact, I mean, because I've never done that either. I've never been like, if anything, I was joking when I said it, because you know
Yeah.
me. I'm like,
Oh, I
I
know
think I'm
you.
funny. I think I'm funny.
Yeah, you
Whether
think.
other people think I'm funny is subjective, but I think I'm pretty darn hilarious.
Sorry.
I forget every time you do that. I forget we have it now.
People are listening. They're like, "Really, guys? All right, we're done." They tuned out already. But yeah, we don't. You're joking. We're not judging people.
No. And honestly, because Justin eats a whole lot cleaner than I do. There are some times where I'm having just the shelf brand peanut butter. I'm not having like the all natural organic peanut butter.
Can I just
I'm
tell
having
you?
listen. I sometimes I have the peanut butter with the canola oil. Sometimes I do.
Wow, evil. I'm silently judging you right now. No, bro. I gotta tell you, since we're talking about clean eating, we'll get back. We're still on the topic.
Yeah,
But
we're
I
still on topic.
started something new in the mornings, and you're gonna be like, "What? Who is this guy?" Like he really means it. Like though George eats pretty clean, but I kind of eat for longevity as well. So I kind of like biohacking my body, and I like trying to. I'm all about what can we do to live longer and healthier and disease free and all these things, and along with the healthy weight and muscle building and things. So this morning, or not this morning, I started this 5 days ago, but it's you take sauerkraut. Okay,
Oh,
this is in the
geez.
morning. This is
Oh,
breakfast time,
I
baby.
know what you're gonna
Okay,
say. You're gonna tell
and the
everybody about
juice.
this weird thing you do.
I'm Just hear me out. You might like it.
I don't even do this,
You might
folks.
like it.
No, that
Just
will not. No, that's untrue.
it's
That is
hateful.
false.
This is hateful. You don't even
Fake,
know.
fake
I
news.
listen. Listen. You may like this, okay? So just start speaking it. So you take the sauerkraut and the juice with the sauerkraut. So a scoop of sauerkraut, a little bit of juice with it. And this is sauerkraut that's not pasteurized sauerkraut. Okay, this is actually in the refrigerator section. Yeah, it's because it has probiotics. Okay, we want the probiotics to be living in these things, live cultures. Okay, calm down. You know what? I quit. I quit. I'm gonna edit this out. Um, but you put it in the okay. You take a scoop of that, and then on top of that, I put some cinnamon. Hear me out, because cinnamon has benefits for blood sugar, also antioxidants and great things for you. Also, on top of that, some honey. Okay, some honey, and then not done yet, buddy. And then I take a little bit of olive oil on top of that, kind of mix it all in. Here we go. And then what's the last thing I do? There was one more thing, and I totally just lost it. Olive oil, the apple cider vinegar. So a splash of that. Now, I mix it up, and it's like this is weird, but it's really and y'all are probably zoning out now thinking like I don't want to be like this guy. You don't have to be like this guy. This is what I do just for gut health, and I just want to see what happens to my body when I do these things. I'm the guy that tracks his blood work throughout the year. I'm the guy that tracks his symptoms of maybe I have indigestion, things like that. I want to see what gets better. I want to see what improves, and I want to see if food can actually help with that. So I mix it all together and I eat it, and I'm like, oh, this is so weird. And then I'll go ahead and drink the juice down because it's really has the most, probably the most probiotics in there, the most live bacteria, and I'm like, just kind of, it's like a shot. It's like, oh. But anyway, I do that. So you want to talk about clean eating? Like that is where I'm at, George. So I don't know if you do anything that crazy, but
Well, so tomorrow I'm gonna start my new morning routine. I'm gonna take dog poop because it has a lot of cultures in it, and I'm gonna take some cat pee and some bourbon,
I really
and
wish there was a boo button on here. Boo.
I'm gonna take some cigarette ashes too, just
Oh my
sprinkle it in
goodness.
there,
You're
and then I'm gonna. And
let's just go back. Anyway, yes, I do eat a little cleaner than George and do some really weird things. I just wanted to share what I was doing. So
no, but
give some respect where
but
respect is due.
well, and seriously, like I give you all the credit in the world for that because that takes some serious discipline. That takes serious discipline, and I'm gonna edify you now. I'm done edifying you.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
So because that takes a lot of strength to be able to take that in because it probably doesn't taste good.
It's
No,
like a
it tastes
4 out of 10.
Okay, all right. As long as we're below a 5, if we were above a 5, I would start questioning you hard. But no, because it probably doesn't taste good, but there's a reason for it. Like there's a reason why Justin's doing it, and he just gave all of his reasons, wonderful reasons, great reasons, really. And this whole idea of just being able to biohack your life. And let me tell you this: like when Justin started day one, you probably weren't hitting the raw sauerkraut, Jay. Were you
No,
hitting that
dude.
raw sauerkraut day one?
I didn't even know what sauerkraut was on day one.
Yeah. So listen, there are going to be times where you take the first step. Justin's on like step number 1,700 million. So
Pretty close.
so like but you don't start where Jay is. And you don't start where I am either. You don't start where we are. I think the sweetest thing I had today, Jay, was berries.
Mm.
That's literally the sweetest thing I had. I might have some 70% dark chocolate tomorrow morning, but we sell donuts at the store on Saturdays. We had boxes of donuts for sale, and you know what? Employees get donuts for free, and I didn't take one.
Nice.
So like if I asked someone what was the sweetest thing you had today, they'd probably say I had a Reese's bar, or I had a Coke, or I had I had frozen berries. Now for me, comparing myself to you, it'd be like, okay, yeah, that's pretty sweet. That's actually pretty high in fructose, and Justin probably would not have had as much frozen fruit that I actually had today. But if I'm like comparing myself to the normal person, they're like, bro, that's not even like what is that? Like that's sweet to you?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's fruit. I'm like, yeah, man, fruit's pretty sweet. Well, when you're diluting your taste buds with donuts and candy and milkshakes and ice cream and all of that, fruit tastes like, you might as well taste like vegetables. But
Yep.
when you start with something small, then maybe in a couple of weeks you start with another thing, and then another thing, and then another thing over the course of a year, and then maybe by the time you get to the end of the year, you have these 10 habits that you have now created. And you look back and you look at someone who hasn't even started yet, and you're just like, listen, you're not going to start where I am at step 10, but you can start where I can tell you where I started step 1.
Yeah. That's good. I'm 22 years in. This is the thing. It's 22 years in. So when I started this whole thing, I had a messed up mindset too. I mean, I wanted perfection. If that scale didn't move, best believe I'm going to walk more that day. Best believe I'm going to say I want a brownie instead. I mean, I did that. I lived that life for a while. I had to have, George, a lot of accountability in my life to help me out of that because it was an unhealthy mindset. We're gonna mess up. We're gonna struggle. We're going to not live up to our own expectations, and then there's always going to be I guess somebody in your ear. You could call him the devil because he is alive and he does like to condemn. You can call it your own self-consciousness, where you're like self-conscious about yourself and you're not a person who sees your value. And so whatever it is, we're all going to have the little whispers and comment like we're not good enough, we're not going to make this happen, we just can't get through this, we, and we operate out of that. Sometimes we operate out of the not good enough, we operate out of the less value system, and sometimes that means we end up doing things we don't want to do, like gorging on food or starting over or not saying we're worthy to lose weight. It's never going to happen. And I've seen that and I live that. I lived that, but I needed help. I needed people in my life to speak into my life. I needed voices to tell truth and not to condemn me. I needed to make sure I educated myself on the cost of what would happen, George, what if I overdo this all the time? What's the repercussions of me not taking my life seriously? What's going to happen in my life if I don't do something different? And I count the cost of those things, because if you don't count the cost, then you're not going to recognize the things you need to do in order for you to have a better life. Because counting the cost means this: if I do this, I get these results. If I don't do this, I get these results. So you have to be really just very aware of your decision and what you're going to do. Here's a quick example. Hulk Hogan, one of my childhood heroes, just passed away. Terry Bollea. Hulk Hogan was his character name in WWFE, and hit me. I'm like, that sucks. But he was 71, so we don't expect. I mean, that's kind of young still for me. It's like an elderly person, 71, still kind of young for me. Um, but I saw that, and I'm like, this guy, he was doing well, I thought, right? And I guess if you look at his story, though, over the years of abusing his body, over the years, I think he said he had 25 surgeries completed, which is a lot of strain on the body because of what he put himself through, and the steroid use at one point or a couple times or whatever in his life, or a season of his life, to get the physique he had. If you count the cost of everything this man did, it probably created the right temperature, the right atmosphere for him to have some issues later on. Now we're not people who can't be redeemed. We're not people who can't be fixed with better health and different things. But I think there's things that catch up with us over a period of time. And me and my big extreme weight loss, I could have done. I'm not speaking over my life, but I could have done some damage to my own body. I was a lot of stress on my body, so I had to be very careful and count the cost myself. I need to redeem somewhat of my actions I had done to myself in the past. I used to gorge myself on everything and anything, and I got myself to a weight of a dangerous amount of almost 800 pounds, and I was for several years that much, and ballooning up to that much, and we don't know what it did to my body. I pray that God has redeemed me and has healed my body and has kept me safe and all the things. But I'm going to do my part today to undo and to redo the body that I was blessed to have. And that means I'm going to treat myself with health, with respect, with integrity, with commitment. And I'm going to do things like eat sauerkraut and make people gag, because I want to see what happens with it. And I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. But I can count the cost of what I'm able to do today and make the best decision possible, if that makes sense, George. I don't mean to hog the mic the whole time, but I really feel like there's accounting the cost, but it's not perfectionism. It's just reality check. That's how I feel. It's just like, this is where I'm at in my life 22 years later, and this is where I'm not going to be here 22 years from now. I'm going to be somewhere different. I'm probably going to be, I don't know. I'm probably going to be floating in the air, like flying or something. I don't know.
Well, you say you've been doing this for 22. I've only been doing this for 7.
Yeah.
And like 3 or 4 of those years was not the healthiest way to do things either. I've really only been doing it the healthy way for like 3.5
Yeah,
years.
because you were really high. You were doing a lot of keto, intermittent fasting, and all those things.
Yeah, keto, OMAD, fear. It was fear driven change. That's probably the best way I could put it. Fear driven change. It wasn't faith driven change. So when people said, why don't you have carbs again? I would say, no, I can't, because I'm scared that I will get fat again. And bro, I still remember the first time I accidentally had carbs. I don't say I say accidentally, but it was kind of also on purpose. Um, but I had been doing hardcore strict keto, and I went to a diner and I ordered 30 chicken wings because I was also doing OMAD, so I was starving. And so the wings come out and they had breaded the wings. I'm like, who breads
Oh,
chicken wings?
that's evil.
And so I'm like, you know what? I'm too hungry. I don't care. I got so sick that night that I couldn't even go to work the next day because I was so ill. Because
Wow.
I had been doing strict keto for a calendar year.
Wow.
My body lost the ability to process glucose,
Mm.
and um, and that scared me. It was like I was scared to do this. I was scared to do that. I was scared about this, and so that's why I kind of looked the way I did because I was scared, and I was definitely the leanest I had ever been, but I wasn't the healthiest that I've ever been.
Mm.
And I do want to just speak to the. I feel like I want to speak to something that we talked about tonight. Um, I feel like I could give a master class on insecurity.
Mm.
I am, full disclosure, I am an incredibly insecure person when it comes to what others think about me. And the thing that I'm learning is that the way I perceive myself, I then infer on other people on what they think, what I think they think about me. And so I create this whole false scenario in my head of what people think about me and how people think about me. And it just kind of like evolves into this just mental monster of like it correlates into social awkwardness and shutting down, isolation and whatnot. And something that I'm really, really have to learn, and I am learning, is for me personally, and this might be objective, I don't know. I haven't really gotten that far yet in my ideology on these things, but if I know that I'm doing something that I should not be doing, that's when the monster gets fed.
Mm.
But Jay, I almost didn't go to the gym today. I was tired. I knew we were going to record, and I just kind of wanted to come home. But there was a couple of things that I thought about. If I'd made that decision, I would have idle hands. We know that's not good. I know that I would be coming on a fitness podcast and foregoing my fitness responsibilities. That would also not be good. And I would sacrifice my personal integrity for ease.
Mm.
And I couldn't do that. And so now I'm here recording with you with a clear conscience. My eating is on point because now I'm not eating my emotions that I would have created out of apathy and laziness.
Mm.
And I am content.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing thing. So I would encourage you, listener, if you struggle with anything that I just talked about, just be responsible with your life. Do what you know you should do. I do think there's like a commonality with all people that they know the difference between right and wrong. And you know the difference of what you should and should not do, even on the most basic level and basic scale. So I would encourage you, don't sacrifice your integrity for laziness. It's not worth it. Cost too high.
I like that. I like that. Your integrity for laziness, because you're gonna trade off. One's gonna outweigh the other,
Yeah.
and one's yeah. That I
And
mean,
you're gonna train your body
hmm,
to keep doing a thing.
yes. Just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
Oh, were you?
You set the tone for that, right? Yes, we're on. Look at we're feeling the vibe here.
Right here. We're
Thousands of
right
miles
there.
away. This is amazing. But you set the pace. You and your decisions. You know what the truth is, George? If we just made one conscious effort to change our normal way of thinking and actually do something different one time out of 10, that's still one time out of 10 that we weren't doing before. But then after you do that the one time, sometimes two becomes even, not sometimes, two becomes a little easier. So now we're doing it two times out of 10, the right thing. Eventually it gets to 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 or whatever. And now you have a different thought process. Now we're rewiring the brain. And that is so true. We have to set the temperature in our lives, and we have to speak up in truth and love, and we have to say sometimes we are our own worst enemy with our health. we have to throw the perfection out the window. We have to throw comparison out the window. We have to throw our insecurities out the window. We have to just have a heart to heart with ourselves and say, we need to change or we're going to die tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really that simple. I mean, and yeah, it's extreme, but there's a point of this where I'm trying to make is this. It's, you have to be extreme to stop the extreme. Because some of us are so far off in the extreme of ill health and bad health decisions, and we just need something like that saying, hey, if we don't do something today, our last breath could be tomorrow morning, our last breath. But if you start today and do something healthy for your body, you're trajecting to a better place. And now you're what? Now you're on the path to better health, which means you'll be hopefully around tomorrow to see your kids grow up and your grandkids grow up and your wife, your kids, your husbands, whomever. You'll be able to see them again another day. Sometimes that motivates me. It's like God ultimately knows the end from the beginning, getting the end of your life. I mean, we can't control all of that, but we can do our part in walking out his blessing that he's given us on this earth. I really believe that.
What's more extreme? Getting up at 5 a.m. tomorrow to go to the gym or being immobile in 20 years?
If you ask a normal person, they're going to say getting up and going to the gym because 20 years is 20 years from now. But that's a good point. That's a good point because we would wish we would probably sit here and say if 20 years from now, if we were immobile, we probably would say, I wish I would have gotten up that day. I wish I could just rewind time and get up that day. Just start that process. I remember listening to Coach George on 600 Pounds Down. I should have listened to him, right? But it's true. It's you pick your poison. You pick your battles. You pick your. I mean, one's really not poison, but you get what I'm saying. You pick your.
Yeah.
You pick your outcome. Really.
What does Adam say? Pick your hard.
Yeah. Adam
Pick your hard.
Pick your hard. Mm-hmm.
So when you see right now, like let's talk about the getting up at 5 a.m. and going to the gym decision. Right now, you are actually able to make a choice of to do or to not do. If you choose on a consistent and steady basis to let your health go to crap, lack of a better phrase and terminology, that moment in 20 years when you want to stand up and walk down the street, I'm going to tell you right now, your body already made that call and it said no. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As much as you want to, you have let your body call the shots so far, and now it's going to just keep doing it, and you can't fight back.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to. I'm trying to think of my life here. I'm trying to think of an example. I had to make hard decisions to start somewhere. Being so large in my life, just the pain of standing up, the pain of moving around. I was almost 800 pounds. And I remember some of my motivators of getting up and fighting through the pain was this will get easier eventually. And it didn't get better right away. and I remember standing for 2 minutes and my legs buckling and me having to sit down because I was so large and I couldn't stand that long. I remember not being able to walk by myself and just thinking, this is not a way of living. This is torture. It's terrible. And I saw the people walking around normal, and it was easy to compare myself, easy to have perfectionist mindset saying I'm never going to get there. Everybody else will do, and I'm never going to get there. But George, I'm there. I'm there. 30 some years or 20 some years, it will be 30, 22 years later, I'm there. And I wouldn't trade my yesterday for anything. I'm so happy that I chose to move my body. I'm so happy that I chose to stand up for not just 1 minute anymore, but 2 minutes. I'm so happy I pushed through the pain and pushed through the hard, knowing that there's a reward at the end. And I had to get my mind off of what I couldn't do and my mind on what I could do. And bro, I'm doing cardio sometimes 2 hours a day right now, baby. And I couldn't do that before. I'm just like, I look at my life and this started 22 years ago. If I didn't take one step, I wouldn't have done this. I don't say that to boast. I say that to give you hope, give everybody hope here. We have to start somewhere, and we have to drop our perfectionist mindset of if it can't be this way, then I'm not doing it. You just have to start making some wise decisions and get there. And George, your story a little different, but you when you came out of OMAD, when you came out of keto, you had to make a conscious decision to start eating carbohydrates and doing it scared. Think about
Yeah.
that.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was terrified. And I'm eating. I started eating fruit again. I started eating sweet potatoes, and that evolved into regular potatoes. And I'm just like, all right. I literally had to tell myself, like, dude, you're not gonna get fat. Just eat your calories, dude. I'm literally having this internal dialogue with myself. Just be like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. Like, don't you because you're smarter. You're doing this with all the tools in your tool belt now.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you were to look, I still have that dual picture on my Facebook, and old George and new George. And if I were to go back and just say to old George, hey, you're gonna be here one day, old George would be like, dude, that no, it's not even possible.
Yep.
It's impossible. It's
Yep.
impossible. That's never gonna happen. And sometimes you just gotta look impossible in the face and challenge it.
Yeah. I love that. You just got, yeah, and you're the responsible one to have to do that. Nobody else can do that for you. You have to look that in the eye and say, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to do it even if it's not perfect. I'm going to get 20 steps in extra that I don't get in. If I can't get a mile, I mean, think about it. We say, if we can't get a mile, we're not going to do it. No. If you only get 2 minutes, do 2 minutes. I don't care. It's just the habits. The beautiful thing about this whole thing is the habits being created, because habits build upon one another. They just get better. They progress. And so starting out today, just making some new habits is where you need to be. Some of you are already there. Some of you are doing amazing. And you're like, hey, I'm already beyond this. I know I have listeners. We have listeners, George, that are runners and fitness people. And they some of these episodes are kind of basic for them. They're like, I don't really get much out of that. But you know what you need to do? Here's some recommendations for you. Take where you're at right now, because you still haven't made it. Let's be real. You're still not there.
Shoot.
You're not. There's still room to grow, and you stop growing. Really, the only time you stop growing is when you take your last breath. I don't care if you're 70 years old and listening to this. You are still able to breathe, walk, and move. Then you're going to have to progress and do something different. If you're the fitness guy, gal, who is used to doing so much CrossFit, so much, you name it, you're lifting heavy, all right, maybe you need to actually invest in a little bit of cardio, not in a high, really big heart rate zone, maybe not the highest heart rate zone, but just start doing some minor cardio to keep your heart healthy. So there's always something else you can do. There's always something new you can do to challenge the mind and challenge the body. It's progressing in the mind is what creates constant and consistent change that you can actually walk out and live out and become even healthier in your life. So you don't get off the hook. All right? No matter where you're at, you're not off the hook. Everyone can do something different. Drop your perfection, start recognizing and evaluating your life, and start thinking, what can I do next to go next level? I mean, I'm doing that with George right now. What can I do better than George tomorrow? Right? I mean, I don't know really, but I'll figure it out. I'm going to lift heavier tomorrow.
I'm gonna do more cardio than you this week.
Just come back like we're just totally opposite of what we used to be. George is like, I do 2 hours cardio a day now. Me, I'm really lifting heavy these days, 3,000 calorie meals,
We'll get you there. We're gonna get you there. You're gonna have a 3,000 calorie day one day.
Hey.
You're gonna feel.
I'm all about that life. I probably had a good amount of calories today. Like I said, today's kind of my more, I mean, I would call it not a cheat day, but more of like a relaxed dietary day. Like I usually don't have 4 slices of pizza, but and they're smaller, by the way, but like 650 calories in pizza is not my norm. Normally it's like 450 to 500 calorie meals. I splurged a little, and I had a little more carbs than I wanted to, but I'm okay with that because I'm not doing this perfection mindset. I'm going to enjoy some pizza with my family, and I enjoyed it. We made it at home. It's gluten-free. We do gluten-free around the house. It was good, and I liked it, and I enjoyed it. And George, I put some ranch on it.
You rebel, you.
I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad boy.
Oh man, you know what, Jay? I think today's episode was definitely a heartfelt episode. I think what we shared today was something that was it's been on our minds, on our hearts a lot lately. Just some things that we've been struggling with, and things that we have also seen great growth in. And I appreciate that we were able to do this. I pray it blesses someone today,
Yes.
because I know for a fact I am different today than I was yesterday, and I want to keep going in that direction.
That's good. That's good. Good stuff. So hopefully y'all were inspired. Good stuff, George. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, I hope that you were challenged today. I hope that you can take something away from today's episode. We have a lot of things we could talk about on top of this, but we approached the hour. We just want to respect everybody's time. But there's more to come. We're gonna have some guests on here upcoming weeks. We have a couple lined up, and there's gonna be some good stuff. I know our friend Ben Whitmore wants to come on, and he's been on 600 pounds down before. Well, it was One Step Live back in the day too, that he checked out, and he was on here talking about marathons, and he was a runner surviving cancer, so a really cool story for him. We had a couple other people lined up as well, but it's going to be great, guys. Keep checking in with 600 pounds down. We would love for you to go on and rate us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'm not sure if Amazon Music even cares, but you can go on there too and try that. But at least the top two platforms would be great. Just rate us a 5 and leave a review. We'd appreciate you subscribe, like, and all the things. It helps us get the word out there to help other people. We're just two guys that love health and wellness and coach people into healthier living. So you're going to get that from us. George, any words before we head out today?
Well, I think one of the biggest things we said tonight, I'm just going to reiterate it. Don't let other people tell you who you are supposed to be.
Boom.
Like, don't let the fitness big box influencers tell you this is the way you need to look, this is the way you need to eat. You need to live for who you are.
That's good. Live for who you are, and don't compare yourself. Just start today, do something different, make it happen. Your body will thank you. I promise you that. Tune in to more episodes soon here at 600 Pounds Down Podcast. See you guys.